What's up, family? Welcome to Positive Power Double XI, J. Royce Films. I'm Jerry Royce Live, and you're watching The Red Room with Shay Samuels, right here on Music Vision Television. That's right, MVTV-21.com. It's going to be awesome, y'all. So please share this file. It's going to be awesome. You know what's going to be? It's going to be lit.
Welcome to The Red Room. I'm your host, Shay Samuels, and I'm excited for you to be here for another episode. We have on The Red Room some amazing guests, and you all know because you watch the show. But today, I had to bring one in-house. We have Mr. David Benton. He is no stranger to The Red Room, but every single day, he's growing. Every single day, he's transforming, and he's transforming the minds of the people that he meets with on a daily basis. So we would be remiss if we did not bring Mr. Benton back on the show with us for another episode. So stay tuned because you are definitely going to be blessed. So Mr. David Benton, I want to introduce you, but you do it better than I do. So let the people know who you are.
I'm my mama's baby. David Benton, BeYondDaFence in the building.
Listen, we're going to have a good time. Listen, like I said, you guys have seen him before, and he is no stranger to telling you that he is his mama's baby. So shout out to his mama. David, how's things been with you?
It's been good. I'm tired, to be honest. I had a long drive, from Tennessee to Georgia, and my nephew, going through the situation with my nephew. My nephew had passed away, so if you see my eyes looking tired, it's because I'm definitely tired. But that's it. I want to encourage people, that we all go through tragedies, we all go through things in life, but God still has something for us.
Yeah,
so,
for sure.
I can't give up. Yeah. Because I have a responsibility.
Yeah. And that's what we're going to talk about today. David has gone through a lot of tragedies, and I posted something the other day, Coach David. I said that basically our pain really does become our purpose. What we've been through, there's so many things that we go through, and we don't recognize the abilities that we have to turn it into something so positive that's going to bless other people. And that's exactly what Coach David did. And so we're going to talk a little bit about going beyond your fence. Every single day we go through an obstacle. And he just told you about his own obstacle. He just recently, around 1 a.m. this morning, got a phone call that his nephew passed away due to a car accident. And nobody expects to get that phone call, but life still has to go on. And, just sending our condolences to the family from the Red Room and the Positive Power family as well. But nobody expects to get that phone call at 1 o'clock in the morning. However, because of him being an entrepreneur and being someone that has obligations that every single day he has to overcome an obstacle. And I'm sure that it's hard. There's someone out there looking at this broadcast today and you're thinking, I just went through that. You're thinking, I went through that a year ago and I haven't been able to get over it. May this show bless you today. May this show encourage you today, and may it give you some more life where you can identify with the obstacles that you're going over and how you can come through it. In this case is death. I have encountered some death in my family as well. And there are some things you just remember, and you can remember what's good, and you can remember the things that they've taught you, and you can remember the things that you've probably had to overcome with them. But today we're going to talk about that. So Coach David, you've kind of prefaced the show just like that anyway. You prefaced it like, I'm overcoming every day. So talk to the people about overcoming. Talk to them about why it's so important for them to overcome.
Well, when it comes to overcoming, of course, that's why we call BeYondDaFence, because we want to go beyond that fence. We all got the fences that's right in front of us, but we can't sit up there and allow that to be a stopping point and allow these things to hinder us.
Yes.
It can affect us.
Yeah.
That's just the reality of the world we live in. It can affect us.
Yeah.
But you can't allow it to be a hindrance.
Yes.
To stop you from going beyond your fear.
Yes. Yeah.
And I think that's what everybody have to understand. Like, I come in, I introduce myself, my mama's baby, right?
Yeah.
That's because I was a good kid, but at the same time, I was disobedient in a lot of areas. And the Bible say, honor thy father and thy mother.
Yes.
For this is the first commandment with promise that it may be well with thee, that thou mayest live long upon the earth.
Yes.
A lot of my disobedience caused me to go behind the fence.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So now that I'm beyond it, I give my mama that shout out, that praise, because she was there the whole way.
Yeah.
And she never allowed me to give up. So here I am smiling in the midst of a tragedy.
Yes.
It's not even been 24 hours.
Yes.
And like the guy said on Walking Dead, and yet I smile.
And yet I smile. I always think about that. I always think about that. And yet you smile. Sometimes it's a bit hard for people to do that, though, because they don't have your mentality. Maybe they don't have someone that, can kind of coach you through or encourage you through. You have a great family and those people who encourage you through every bit of your moment. You talked about your mom who was there throughout your sentence and the whole entire time. And so I want you to think about that. As you look at the show today, I want you to think about who's there for you. Have you shut them out? Is there someone that's been encouraging you this whole entire time and you just decided, you know what, I'm going to shut myself out from the world. I'm going to shut myself out from that person. I don't want to be encouraged. Again, allow this to encourage you that there's a Mordecai in everybody's life. Yes. There is a Mordecai in your life. And I encourage people to always look to see who that person is. That person is pushing you into position. And no matter what the circumstance is, there's somebody who went through what you went through today. Absolutely. They're going to go through that tomorrow.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I be feeling like I have one of those Joseph moments.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I did the time. You feel betrayed.
Mm-hmm.
You lose people that's close to you, people that you love. What I want people to understand when I leave this platform and they listen to this is stop making excuses to fail.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't want people to make excuses to fail, because I see people all the time. And, whether it's COVID, children, I got to work, it's always a reason why you can't keep going, keep pressing forward.
Yes.
I had every opportunity to make an excuse to just shut down the whole day. In reason.
Yeah.
But I have a responsibility. I have people that counts on me. I want to be an inspiration to you guys, you kings and queens out there, men and women of God. I want to be an inspiration to say, listen, we all go through things. Life is tough.
Yes.
But you are tougher.
Yeah.
Because my Bible tells me that we are more than conquerors.
Yeah. Yeah. And people read that every day. Yes. You read it every day. And unfortunately, you recite it, but you don't live it. Being more than a conqueror means, when I think about those like Trojan movies where people are like running down the road or the hill and they're like, Trojan, and they got the swords and they're like, going, fighting to the battle, and they just don't give in. They just don't give in. And I know that somebody's listening to this today, they're watching this today, and they're probably saying, I don't know how they got over it. I don't know how they're getting over it. I'm just not ready. And this person could be there for 5 years in this place, Coach David, where they're like, I'm just not ready. I've shut myself out from my children. I've shut myself out from relationships. Some people even stop working. Here's what happens when you do that. And I know that Coach David's going to jump in on this one, but here's what happens. You start blaming everybody else for life just being messed up. It's messed up because of the obstacle. It's messed up because of the death. This person gave to me. This person took from me. You become selfish, self-absorbed. And it's unfortunate because there's still life ahead of you. So Coach David, talk to us about the life ahead of you. Let's talk about, there's a future ahead of you.
One thing, to go beyond that fence, understand that you have, I'm gonna say, let me do the camera like this. Okay, you have here, right? Now I'm behind it. Understand, once I go over it, there's another part of land there.
Woo! I love it.
I went, it's still, once you go behind your fence, or you say you're more than a conqueror, once you conquer it, there is more.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I went from behind the fence to beyond the fence. Now beyond the fence, it's another plot of land. I can't just sit there by that fence.
Yeah.
I got to keep pushing forward.
Yeah.
Even though I'm beyond it.
Yeah.
If I sit there on it, then I haven't really done no good. I'm still stuck to the fence.
Yes.
I'm still stuck in my past. I'm still stuck to the situation.
Yeah.
I might as well go back behind it.
Listen, you might as well stay in the pit. If you don't know that there's something so much more for you, you might as well stay in the pit. He referenced Joseph. There were a lot of fences that Joseph had to get over. First and foremost, the family. Listen, for those of you who are experiencing the fence being your family, you have to understand this, that just because, the saying, Coach David, they say blood is so much thicker than water, right? Mm-hmm. But then they also know that regardless of if you're blood or not, some of the most powerful people and the most powerful pushers in your life, they're not your family.
Right.
They're not your family. They're not your family. So when you have to overcome the obstacle of family, know that God is going to design what it looks like for you through other people.
Absolutely. And you know what, Coach Shay, family ain't always blood. You got work families.
Yes.
Your church families.
Yes.
Your gang family. Right? So you have different types of families that you obtain in your life.
Yes.
But when those relationships don't go right, are you gonna make that an excuse on why you couldn't go further? Yes. Why you couldn't get ahead? The thing is, I came into this world as an individual. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Even identical twins.
Yeah, coming in as in that's good.
They come out the same day, but
they come out individuals.
If two of them came out at the same time, that woman like that. She the truth. I had to get the camera.
Listen, I told y'all were going to have a good time. If you're just tuning in, this is the Red Room. I'm your host, Shay Samuels, and we're with Mr. David Benton. Coach David Benton is what they call him. And we are talking about going beyond your fence. Every obstacle in life, honestly, we have a choice to decide what obstacle we're going to get over today. Sometimes the obstacle can be in our minds. We talked about family obstacles. We talked about life obstacles. Let's talk about the mind obstacles. You are so good at talking about transformation of the mind and where it starts, how it starts. So how does someone even identify that they're locked up in the mind?
For one thing, that saying, you are what you eat. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So one thing about eating, it depends what you look at on TV, and what you look at that's around you. What you're receiving, whatever you receive, our God is so awesome. Our mind, our brain is like a computer. Yeah. You have all these downloads. So you're receiving all this information. You're receiving all these things that you see. The things you see on TV, those narratives.
Yes.
You can be controlled by those narratives.
Yes.
You can be imprisoned by the narrative of saying, okay, well, this is how life's supposed to go.
Yeah.
And if I don't be like they say it's supposed to be, then I look at myself, I feel like a failure.
Yes, yeah.
I feel like a failure. The most popular thing, the White House with the picket fence. I don't want no picket fence. I don't want no poodle. Little dog named Toto, I don't want it.
Be careful with the dogs. We got a lot of dog lovers watching the show.
I'm just saying, it could be a dog.
You're just saying you don't want the poop.
Right, it can be a little cocker spaniel or something. I don't have to have the poop. I don't have to have the picket fence. Yeah. You know, maybe I just want me a little regular little gate. Yeah. You know, but I'm saying that if I don't get it, then it doesn't make me a failure. Yes. We have to stop allowing the narrative of society to make us feel unworthy or great.
Yeah, that's good.
I know who I am.
That's good. That's
you know,
really good.
I know who I am. And that doesn't make me arrogant. That just makes me sure of myself because I trust and believe that God really does exist.
Yeah. You said something really great, though, because you said, I trust and believe that God does exist. But do you trust and believe that God created you to be unique? Do you trust and believe that God created you to be an overcomer? Do you trust and believe that God made you valuable to every person that you touch? When you trust and believe that God made you this way, I believe that you can be, you really can overcome the things of the world. Yes. Honestly, I believe that you can. So if you're watching this today and you have not overcome the things of the world, remember what God says about you. You know, not with again, another post I talked about, you have to be mindful of your purpose and not people. People will make you identify with who they see you as, which is going to cause you to be bipolar regardless, because now you're trying to be with your mom, what your mom said. You want to be what your dad said. You want to be what your children want you to be. If you were married, you want to be what the spouse wants you to be. If you're at work, you got to be who you are employed to be. And it becomes a hindrance. And so here you are driving from whatever you are called to be, and you're not even walking in it.
Yes, I want to say this, Coach Shay. We all heard about the Oscars, Will Smith and Chris Rock. I'm going to just be honest. When people ask me about it, I might have a small conversation, but the reality is, man, I'm focused on my own life.
Yes. Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to live my life to celebrities.
Yeah.
No disrespect to either one of them brothers, but that's between them.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with me. Let me tell you why. Because it's called the Oscars. All of them are actors. I'm not saying it was real. I'm not saying it was fake. What I'm saying is I'm real. What we're doing is real. This is a reality. You have your own reality. Instead of talking about the gossip, that's when you can become imprisoned in the mind. I'm trying to free you right now. Create your own narrative. See, the thing is, when they put that on TV, they know that it's going to distract you from doing what you have to do. We so focused on celebrities. We so focused on what happened at the Oscars in the actresses, that we ain't even focusing on our real life.
Yeah. There used to be a game when we were going through some type of world tragedy, and there was a game called the Pokemon, and it came out, and they had all of these people for like a week going in the woods trying to find this. It was a fantasy game. Wow. It was a fantasy game. So Pokemon, you would be driving down the road, and on your phone, you would see this app, and it would say one's over there. Now, people who didn't have the app couldn't see it. Look, we're going to teach y'all today. But people who didn't have the app couldn't see it. But the people who did, they could. So you had cars that were traffic jam just because somebody was trying to get the point for this Pokemon. I don't know if y'all remember that, but here's the thing. There was a world tragedy happening. And right as the world tragedy was happening, here comes this game. There's so many things that distract us from what we are called to do and who we are called to be. The world puts the obstacle in front of you and you don't even identify with it. So that's another thing that we have to be mindful of. This thing right here, I love how you said that. It downloads so much. And because you're downloading what you see on TV, what you hear from people, what you're gossiping about at work, you will never overcome this thing. I think it has to be like a mind detox.
Absolutely. It's a purge.
Yeah, I like that word.
A purge. You know, I'm going to say it because I always say it, and I got to say this. The Bible clearly says that we're made in God's image and God's likeness. So that means that we have the power to create. You can create.
Yes.
We always say, well, I ain't going to move till God say move. That's fine. But you know what? He gave you a thing called a brain. that means you have a right to choose.
Yes.
You can choose righteousness or unrighteousness. You can go left, you can go right. God already did God's job by loving you so much, making you so brilliant, making you so unique. Only thing you got to do is just have the wisdom. Use the wisdom.
Yes.
You can have the knowledge.
Yes.
But if you don't apply the proper wisdom, then that knowledge is really in vain.
Yes.
So you have the power to control the narrative in your life, so you never have an excuse to fail. It's not no excuse to fail.
Yes.
Stump or a roadblock, hey, it happens.
Yes.
But if you stop at the roadblock and just use that as an opportunity to say why you couldn't fulfill what was meant for you.
Yeah.
And it's nobody's fault but yours. If you rather talk about the Oscars all day when you could be putting that 20 minutes of talking, it could be thinking of your next move for your business.
Yeah.
You could be writing your next blueprint to an awesome success story.
I love it.
But you're choosing to take those 20, 30 minutes to an hour or a whole week to talk about something, and they don't even know you.
Yeah.
They have not invested in you at all.
Yeah. I'm going to do what I do best. I'm going to bring it down to layman's terms. When we talk about obstacles, every day, whether you know it or not, you overcome your own obstacle. Or you might overcome somebody else's obstacles. So I'm going to say this, Coach David. Have you ever been in traffic construction? Have you ever been in construction?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So when you go through a way of construction, they always have these signs. They have, you cannot go this way, detour here. That is an obstacle. And someone thought about how to overcome this obstacle for you. They didn't just say, I'm going to have this construction site here. We're going to build this huge building. They're saying, look, we know that we're going to do this. Coach David just said the blueprint. We know that we're going to do this, but they've already mapped the way out for you to overcome the obstacle, which is the traffic jam. So when you see detours, they've already canvassed out this area to say, this is going to be the best way for you to take the direction you need to go to get where you need to go. Sometimes you might not even get there in the time that you did, but guess what? Because you know the obstacle is there, you're going to plan ahead a day after, right? That's how the obstacles in your mind have to be. That's how the obstacles with your family has to be. That's how even overcoming you has to be. Once you have that roadmap, you have to be able to identify it as an obstacle first and foremost. You have to be rest assured that it is something that you can overcome. It is something that, somebody can help me overcome. Because without them, the traffic people, you wouldn't know where to go. You would not, you drive in circles and circles and circles. And so you're going to get phone calls like you did, like, well, how do I get in here? Right. Shout out to Tanya. But you're going to get a phone call like, how did I get in here? How do I get in? But without the sign, you would not know where to go. So I want to encourage you all today, as you listen to this broadcast, what obstacle haven't you been able to overcome? What fence haven't you been able to get beyond? And why do you keep yourself locked up behind the fence? Coach David says this all the time. There's so many people behind the fence who feel like I'm good here. Why? Because once you overcome the fence, there's other fences that you have to go over. Then after that fence is going to be another fence that you have to. That's just the way of life. And unfortunately, as long as you live, you're going to have to learn to overcome it. David, in the short period of time that we have, what words of encouragement do you have?
I want to say this, that even in the Olympics, it's not just one hurdle when they do the hurdles. It's not one.
Come on.
You got to jump one hurdle, 2 hurdles, 3 hurdles, all the way to the finish line. So you just keep jumping them hurdles.
I love it.
It's always a finish line for you. And you're going to end up being the winner. You just got to believe that you actually can win.
I love it. I love it. And here's the thing that I would say, even if you don't win, at least finish the race. Look, just because you see yourself behind everyone else, just finish the race. Don't give up. Just finish the race.
And that's winning.
Yeah, that is winning. That is winning.
Look, to make it, understand this. Let me clear this up. To make it, to be able to be qualified to race.
Yes, yeah. That is winning.
You're a winner because everybody not qualified.
Yeah.
Everybody can't go to the Olympics. Everybody didn't make your track team. Everybody didn't make my basketball team. It was people who got cut.
I know that feeling, but I was never cut.
So just to make it, you a winner.
Yes.
But like Coach Shay said, you must finish. But when you finish, I'm saying when you go and you jump every hurdle.
Yes.
Some people fall on the hurdles.
Come on.
But they don't stop racing.
Yeah.
They keep going.
They keep going. They keep going.
And they jump more hurdles.
So that's our message to you today. Just keep going. Overcome the obstacles. Go beyond your fence. Coach David, I want to say thank you so much for coming on for another episode. We are so honored to have amazing people on this show. And I know that you were blessed by this show. We want you to stay tuned for more episodes. If you love this episode, I want you guys to make sure you stay tuned for the next one.
Can I say one
I'm
thing?
Coach Shay.
Don't she look pretty? The red rose, you got a red shirt. She look pretty.
Thank you, Coach David.
Yeah.
I'm your host, Shay Samuels, and we will see you all on the next episode of The Red Room. Bye-bye.
This is Paula G. Voice, a.k.a. Lady Wisdom with the Children. Now, it appears our most precious gems have been thrown into the political arena. How low can one go? Using our children and fear for political gain. And yes, I'm going to address the pink elephant in the room. Now, some may see it otherwise, but as I have stated in the past, these are just my thoughts. Now, as a retired educator, I still engage in conversation with fellow educators. And some of them have shared their first day of school experiences, and most indicated they didn't have any issues, other than the usual students not picking up trays in the cafeteria, chattering in the hallway, and lingering a bit too long, thus making them late for class, cell phones out when they shouldn't, the usual school challenges. For the most part, the students were happy to be back among their classmates and their teachers. Now, it wasn't until a few days later or the following week that issues arose with students refusing to wear a mask, some stating very eloquently why they were refusing to wear a mask. Thus, the shift occurred, and now educators are tasked with the distraction of mask encounters instead of doing what it is that they are there to do: teach. We wonder why so many good educators are leaving the profession. We wonder why there's a shortage of teachers. They are in between a rock and a hard place. That's an impossible place. Chastised by the parents who want students masked. Chastised by parents who don't want their children masked. Teachers just want to teach. They didn't endure all those years of education and student teaching and training to be a referee. Also, what happened between those first days of school and the weeks that followed? Why did the students change their stance on wearing a mask? Who spoke to them? Ladies and gentlemen, where do we go from here? Again, just some thoughts. I'm Paula G. Voice. I'm a sagacious, independent lifestyle influencer. I'm embracing my journey and sharing experiences along the way, and I'm challenging dreamers to do the same by breathing life into their deferred dreams and living out the reality, because it is never too late to embrace your journey and live your dream. Visit Paula's blog at paulagvoice.com/blog